Now, where are you from?
Well, that question is actually hard to answer because growing up, my parents moved a lot, and I went back and forth from, I think we lived in Paris for like 2 months, then we lived in Columbus, Ohio. We moved to Maryland and then DC, and then I spent most of my childhood in Manhattan, and then for a while back in DC, and now I'm based out of Manhattan. So, I consider myself whole northeastern region kind of. It's hard to say.
But you were born in Russia?
I was, yes.
And you were adopted?
Yes, I was.
What was the reasoning behind the adoption? I don't know if that's an answer you even know, but...
Yeah, so, there's a few things I won't speak on that are personal to the family, but...
Okay, understandable.
But, my parents wanted a kid, and, like any other adoption, you go to an adoption agency. They went to one down in New Orleans, a great one, and they said we wanted a kid without any health issues. We want a healthy kid. And, they gave them a few photos of me, and my parents said, yeah, they flew over to Russia, got me, and, at 11 months, I was over here.
Do you know who your biological parents are? Have you tried to find them and that sort of thing? I know that happens with some kids that become adopted.
No, I don't even think, I don't know anything about my biological father, but we know that my biological mother was extremely poor, and she didn't have enough money to take care of me. So that's why, I got dropped off at an orphanage, and yeah, so I don't know much about it, but it is what it is.
I've never been adopted, so I don't know what it feels like to be in your shoes. But someone being in your shoes, do you have a longing for that? Do you really want to know who your biological parents are? Would you like to know that type of information? Do you try to seek it out, or it is what it is type of thing and you just move forward in life?
Yeah, right now it's just like it is what it is, because Russia, if I was born in China, yeah, I'd probably go try to find out. If I was born in someplace, Africa, I'd probably go find out. But, Russia right now really isn't a safe place, especially where I was born. It's right in the middle of Russia. And, Putin, he banned all adoptions from Russia into the U.S. So if they see I have a U.S. passport that says I was born in Russia, they could potentially hold me there or do something that I wouldn't like. And right now, I'm really just not that interested in doing it. I'm very happy with my life right now. And one day, it's been in the back of my head.
Okay, yeah. Just curious. Now, just being an adopted child, you never had to go through foster care or foster homes or anything. The family that adopted you is your same family today?
Yes.
Okay. Now, people get adopted for all different types of reasons. There's different ways people get adopted. Some kids have to go through an adoption foster care system, and I've done interviews with those type of kids, and I've heard horror stories with those type of people. Then I've heard people have great stories from, adopted people that have taken them, and, that sort of thing. And just general advice, right, to maybe somebody watching this that's adopted themselves. Everybody's circumstance is different.
Yeah.
But is there any general advice you would tell maybe another adopted child or another adopted young person, maybe even an adopted young adult or an adult watching this
You're saying someone who's been adopted?
Yeah. Is there any general advice you would give them or anything you would tell that person?
Yeah. I mean, people have this weird thing about kids who are adopted. When I was younger, it was weird for me because, I tell someone I'm adopted, like, wow, you're adopted? As if that's some, like, crazy thing. But, I mean, to all the kids, if you're adopted out there, your adoptive parents love you, so it's cool, and don't stress it. And, one day you could probably go find out. And, I mean, rarely do you hear about someone who's adopted and it's extremely horrible and that kid has a horrible life. Most of the time these kids are adopted into some great family, and, and when you're adopted into a great family, to be honest with you, you just don't put too much thought into it. So, yeah.
It sounds like you were adopted into a great family.
I was.
Now, you moved around a couple times. I heard New York, Maryland.
Of course.
Was there something else I forgot about?
Yeah, New York, Maryland, DC, Columbus, Ohio. Yeah.
Why so many places of movement?
Parents work. Obviously, too young to have a say in that. I was super small. So, just parents work, and over time, my parents got a feel for what place they like best, and and finally we ended up in New York, which is where there's a whole bunch of action. You can get your private time. It's a little mix. It's a little mix of everything, and they love it. So.
How old were you when you moved to New York? I know you spent most of your life there.
Yeah, age-wise.
Do you remember?
Can't remember. Definitely moved. Started kindergarten.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, paint the picture for us. What was it like growing up in New York for you? Specifically Manhattan?
Yeah.
Okay. What was that like for you growing up?
Man, it was great. Small kid, didn't know anything about the world, had no stresses, loved everyone at my school, was kind of popular too. I was just living life. I loved it. I loved the people who I was surrounded by, and I had some great friends, and I did some great things, so I really liked it.
Manhattan is not the cheapest place to live in New York, no. From what I understand.
No, it's not.
Were you the type that was spoiled as a kid?
No, I wasn't spoiled.
Born with a silver spoon, so to speak?
My parents do very well for themselves, and I have, and I've known that all my life. But me, myself, I've never been a spoiled child. I mean, my parents, my parents are very well off, and when your parents are well off and, they have unconditional love for you, they might give you a few things, so.
Was it, I probably know your answer to this question, but I'm still going to ask it anyways. Was it a rough upbringing for you at all?
Not at all. And I have no shame in saying that, especially since I'm a rapper and stuff, another stereotype besides skin color is that in order, rap goes hand in hand with, having a rough upbringing. And
or a struggle.
Exactly. And, I've had a few struggles of my own, but no, in terms of upbringing, I've been very thankful and very happy. So.
Just curious, what was maybe your biggest struggle?
Oh boy, probably having to leave, and this was much later in life, having to leave a very close girlfriend of mine at a certain time, who I got very close to and who inspired most of my music for 4 years. And I moved, I grew distant from her, so. It's not the upbringing struggle. It's not the, I lived a hard life struggle. It's just the love struggle, so. And that's what inspired, if you go listen to my music, I either rap about a super sexy time with a significant other at the time, or I just rap about something super sad that, I have feelings about, so.
As a kid, did you get into trouble?
Yeah, actually. I was that one kid in the private school who got in trouble. I remember, I was always getting sent to the principal's office. I got sent home one day. I was just making fun, I was just a hothead. I was pretty popular. Let's see. Yeah, I was just making fun of a whole bunch of people. Since then I've changed, but.
Bullying?
No, not bullying. I just had a larger than life presence to where people didn't want to kind of mess with me. So I had kind of the upper hand in conversations and stuff that kind of told them to back down. It was that kind of thing. And
like a sarcastic kid?
No, not sarcastic. I just...
Talking back type of kid?
Yeah, I used
Smart
to talk
mouth.
back. I used to think that I knew a lot of things.
Know-it-all.
Yeah, somewhat of a know-it-all. Since then I've changed, but, as I said earlier, it was just... I was somewhat popular in the school growing up, and I loved the people who were around me. I had no issues, I had no stresses, so I had nothing to humble me,
What was the most serious thing you got in trouble for?
You know what?
Or you got in trouble too?
Boy. Probably nothing too serious, to be honest with you. And again, this is, it's just the way it was. Here and there, I got sent to the principal's office for a few stupid things. I can't quite remember what they were, but yeah, man. I got by, and it, I've changed.
Did you rap in school?
Yeah, it was great. I got influenced. I'd say my first influence really to, start the answer to that question off would be, I saw a Budweiser commercial, I think it was 2007, Jay-Z, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Danica Patrick. Jay-Z just released his Show Me What You Got record, and he teamed up with Budweiser or something to do a music video where he put his music video, and they teamed up with Budweiser. And in the video, I'm sure people know, but in the video, it's a lot of car driving, it's a lot of boat driving, a lot of girls, money, dancing. It's crazy. And as a small kid, I said, like, that's what I want to do. And then, once I got inspired from that, in school, I wrote my first rap song in 4th grade. It was like some 4-page rap about me, doing some stupid shit. But, I never ended up performing that rap. Maybe I was too nervous at the time, but that's kind of what set I was about to perform that, and that's kind of what made me really want to do it. And so.
Did you battle classmates?
No, that came a lot later. That came until high school. In high school, in high school, when I first got to my high school, there was this rapper who's a very close friend of mine now, and he's a good friend of mine. He's based back in D.C., and when I came to high school, it was, everyone knew about him, but nobody knew about me. Plus I was this white guy, he was a black dude. So once they found out I rap, they tried to pair us together and battle, and that's what we did. And through the battling, we created a great friendship, and we made a few songs together. So. Did
you win more, lose more, break even with the battle?
I say it was about even. And it was super friendly too. I didn't do none of that like cutthroat battling type stuff, Eminem 8 Mile type thing. It was just super friendly. It was good vibes when it comes to battling. I think the struggles came in other places, not in battling or rapping for classmates.
Graduated high school?
Did.
Tried college?
Yeah, I'm actually doing college.
Oh, you're still enrolled in college?
I am.
Okay.
Down in Tennessee. Yeah, and it's great because a lot of what has always influenced my music has been, the whole Southern scene, the Houston scene, Bun B, Paul Wall, Slim Thug, Zero, Devin the Dude. All those guys, influenced my music so much. And, being in Tennessee, it's no Houston, but you definitely get the Southern influence. So being down there, there's a lot of country rap, and I like it. So.
Care to share what school you go to?
I'd rather not disclose the name right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what year are you in currently? Freshman, sophomore?
About to be in sophomore year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was it a scholarship type situation, or you got to finance on your own type of thing?
Yeah. As we were talking about, extremely lucky growing up. Parents were well off, able to pay for my college. This is what it is.
Is your intention to graduate college?
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because I was talking to my manager and I was telling him, listen, like if I get some big deal or something, something huge comes my way, I'm probably just going to try to leave, because, you don't always just get one shot, but most of the time you just get one shot. And thankfully for me, I'm in a situation where I can always go back if I needed to, if that one shot failed. So I'd say right now, I'm definitely on the path to completing college, but if something big comes my way, I'll probably be out there.
What's the major?
Music business.
Okay, music business.
Yes.
Now, ashamed to say you're still in college and doing the rap thing?
Not at all. Not at all.
No shame in it?
No shame. It's just, a lot of people like to hate on it. It's more stereotypes. You shouldn't be in college if you're a rapper. Another stereotype. It's, it's just like I'm white, I shouldn't rap. I come from wealth, I shouldn't rap. I'm in college, I shouldn't rap. It's just another stereotype. I knew what I was getting into when I got into this business, so it is what it is.
Some rappers have admitted to some college experience. I know Lil Wayne's talked about it, Lil Bibby, Nick Cannon of recently, but it's not really talked about. No one really brags about it, promotes that they're in college and rapping. I mean, some people have, but the majority, no, it's not talked about.
Yeah, I don't, listen.
Why do you think that is? Because they're not attending college, or?
You know, especially with the people you mentioned, Lil Wayne, his whole thing, and Lil Bibby was drugged, you know, all that. You know, you don't want to be seen with the college crowd and stuff, but to be honest with you.
These guys are open and admitting they're enrolled or currently enrolling or have hopes to enroll.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't have much of an opinion on that other than that nobody should be ashamed if they're going to college and doing rap on the side. In fact, that's probably more impressive than just doing rap because, you know, you're juggling a backup plan plus pursuing your dream, and there's nothing more dope than that, so.
What's the reaction you get from other classmates in college? Is this people know about this, or is this something you're kind of keeping quiet about?
Yeah. I tend to keep my college
students backing you on this? Are you gaining a fan base because of this?
No, not really. I try to keep my college life and, you know, my studies, and, you know, I do most of my music in New York and DC, so my music life up north, separate, just because, you know, it's easier to do school that way.
So you're physically attending this, or is this more like online classes?
No, I'm physically attending it, but when I'm there, I don't choose to tell people I rap or do any of that. I feel like, you know, I feel that the work that I'm doing outside of school in terms of music, you know, back in New York or back in DC, you know, I don't need to tell anybody that at school because, you know, I'm a big believer in one day that everything I'm doing will pay off and they'll one day know, so.
Do you feel like maybe you should have bypassed college and just went to music and concentrated on music and the rap career instead of juggling both? Or
let me tell you something, brother. When you come from a family of good money, that's not an option. You got to do college, and if you're lucky enough to get a music break, then go do your music because you're making money now, but, you know,
but if you
gotta have a plan to make that money.
But if you personally could have it your way, I know it sounds like you're, you know.
Oh, my way? Yeah, I'd leave school. I mean, listen, I'm not ashamed to be where I am right now, and in fact, that I think it's very cool that I'm doing both. But I always tell myself I could be completing this shit 2 times as fast if I wasn't in school. So, you know, that's just the reality of it, but it is what it is, and, you know, I'm doing my thing, so.